lights low, camera on me, wave crash in the background. Welcome to the story, stay wavy with the jab TV, with the hook, every round heavy now. Better take a good look, ring bell, gloves up, hear the bass get loud.
Good, y'all. It's your boy Wavy. I got some breaking news for y'all. Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Tupac Twitterson will officially square off in the main event of the Ring 6 on January 31st in New York, exclusively on the Zone. Shakur Stevenson is 24-0 with 11 KOs, the WBC lightweight champion and the Ring's #1 contender at 135 pounds. Will be moving up for his first fight at 140 to challenge the Ring and WBO junior welterweight champion Teofimo Lopez, who's 22-1 with 13 KOs. These fighters got a lot in common, right? Number one, Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, they both ducked Devin Haney. Devin Haney, undisputed 135. He's the youngest male undisputed champion of all time. And he offered, because remember, after he beat Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson came into the ring and basically, was pointing at his belt. And, he basically was telling Devin that he wanted to smoke. So Devin Haney offered Shakur Stevenson a contract. I believe it was 25%. And if he would have taken the fight, if Shakur Stevenson would have won that fight, which I don't think he would have became undisputed at 135. Now, you got a lot of people out there saying that 25% was a low offer. How? At the time, Shakur Stevenson had never fought on pay-per-view before. At that point in Shakur Stevenson's career, all of his fights were live on ESPN. Not ESPN Plus, I'm talking about the regular ESPN channel. Shakur Stevenson at that point in his career, which is about, 2-3 years ago? Yeah, like 2-3 years ago, he didn't sell no pay-per-views. You understand what I'm saying? Like, people forget. People forget. Devin Haney at that point had already been on pay-per-view. The fight that he had with Lomachenko was on pay-per-view, right? Obviously, Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, they had the best pay-per-view numbers out of all the young guys. But, if you're Shakur Stevenson and your resume isn't as good as Devin Haney's at the time, right? Like, I think his best one at that point was Jamel Herring, who was, damn near 40 years old when he beat him. Oscar Valdez, who got caught taking PEDs. Oscar Valdez was never elite, right? Was he considered one of the top guys at 130? Yes, that's a fact. But he's not elite. Let's just call it what it is. So even though the offer was 25%, Shakur Stevenson probably would have got the biggest payday of his career if he would have taken that Devin Haney fight. And if he would have won all of the belts, he automatically would have got paid more for the next fight. They could have did a rematch and he could have got paid more. You know what I'm saying? Look at Terrence Crawford and Canelo. I heard Terrence Crawford was only paid $10 million to fight Canelo Alvarez, and I heard Canelo made close to $100 million, right? Now they're in negotiations for a rematch, and Terrence Crawford is demanding $100 million. You feel me? Canelo's probably going to be the one that takes the short end of the stick in the rematch because he lost. So business is business, bro. I think Shakur should have taken the offer. Now, Teofimo Lopez, after his win against Arnold Barboza, he wanted to fight Jerome Boots Ennis at 147. Jerome Boots Ennis ends up moving up to 154 after he beat Stanionis. And Turkey Al-Sheikh offered Teofimo Lopez a fight with Devin Debo Haney. You know what I'm saying? So he was offered about $10 million to fight Devin Haney. And Teofimo Lopez, first he agreed to the fight, and then he turned it down. He said he turned the fight down due to mental health issues. He said he was going through some family stuff and his mental health wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? So Devin Haney exposed that the real reason why Teofimo Lopez didn't want that fight, bro, is because he didn't want to fight Devin Haney at 147. I'm going to tell you something, bro. You hear a lot of these boxers call Devin Haney pillow fist and they say he's soft and all this stuff, right? But when it comes to fighting the man, bro, these dudes literally are scared of Devin Haney. Like, the only person that isn't scared of Devin Haney is really Ryan Garcia, even though, we know what happened with that fight. We don't got to go into that. But it seems to me like all these other dudes are scared of Devin Haney. And I think the reason why they're scared is because Devin Haney's a big dude, bro. We just seen Devin Haney's first fight at 147. He dropped Brian Norman Jr. He could have stopped him. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney's a big dude, bro. He's a little tall. He's like 5'11". You know what I'm saying? And he comes into the ring really heavy. Remember when he fought Regis Prograis at 140? That was Devin Haney's first fight at 140. He dropped Regis Prograis and won every single round in that fight. And then we found out that Devin Haney on fight night was 165 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So he rehydrated 25 pounds on fight night. You know what I'm saying? So that's why dudes like Teo and Shakur, that's why they don't want to fight Devin. Or I even seen an interview where, an interviewer was asking Shakur Stevenson, would he fight at 147? And he said it depends on who the fighter is. He said if he was fighting a guy like Conor Benn, he would do it at 147. Then he was asked, would he fight Devin Haney at 147? He said, hell no. And once again, bro, these dudes, when they look at how tall Devin is and they look at how strong Devin is and how he rehydrates on fight night, these dudes get scared, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why, Shakur and Teo, they both ducked him. They got something in common. Now, my question is this, guys, right? Do you guys find it weird that Teofimo Lopez ducked Devin Haney and now he's fighting Shakur Stevenson? Because if you look at this fight on paper, right, obviously Devin Haney has a better resume than Shakur Stevenson. But when you look at Shakur Stevenson's recent performances, I think most people would agree that Shakur Stevenson appears to be the more skilled boxer, right? We've seen fights where Devin Haney has, he got dropped 3 times against Ryan Garcia, right? I don't really, listen, I know Ryan cheated and all that, but at the end of the day, it happened, right? The fight, it doesn't count. It's not a win or a loss. It's a no contest, but he got dropped 3 times. Devin Haney took a lot of damage in that fight against Ryan Garcia, right? We also seen Devin Haney almost get dropped by Jorge Linares back when he was fighting at, I believe, 135, right? We've seen Devin Haney get hit a lot by Vasily Lomachenko, even though he ended up winning the fight. I had Devin winning 7 out of 12 rounds of that fight. So on paper, it seems like Devin Haney would be the easier opponent for Teofimo Lopez because we've seen Devin get hit. We've seen Devin get hurt. We haven't really seen Shakur Stevenson. We haven't seen him ever get dropped in his professional career so far. And we really only seen him get rocked 1 time, and that was against William Cepeda. You look at his most recent performance against William Cepeda, which I thought was a masterclass. There was a point in that fight where Cepeda had Shakur on the ropes, and Cepeda, hit Shakur with a strong jab, and Shakur almost fell on the ground. His daughter even said it after the fight. She was like, he almost got knocked out. You know what I'm saying? But Shakur Stevenson, in my opinion, has the best defense in the sport of boxing right now. And I just think that Shakur Stevenson is just a tremendous overall skilled boxer. And I find it very strange that Teofimo would duck a fight with Devin Haney and then fight a Shakur Stevenson. Now, maybe this is because Teofimo Lopez and Shakur are both the same size, right? They're pretty much the same height. They're both smaller guys, right? Both of these guys aren't really punching like that at 140. So maybe it's an intimidation thing, right? Maybe Teofimo Lopez is intimidated by Devin Haney because he's taller than him and he's a big, strong guy. And listen, Teofimo Lopez, he knew Devin Haney was going to beat Brian Norman Jr. He knew it. Ryan Garcia knew that Devin Haney was going to win that fight. So you guys got to remember, man, these guys, they spar with each other, bro. Shakur and Devin, they've sparred with each other. You know what I'm saying? Tank and Devin, they've sparred with each other. Teofimo and all these guys have sparred with each other. So when you see these guys not willing to fight certain guys, it's for a reason. And I think the fact that Teo took this fight with Shakur, I think that Teofimo Lopez, I think that he sees some holes in Shakur's game that he could exploit. And one thing we know about Teofimo Lopez is when he steps up his level of competition, that's when we see the best version of Teofimo Lopez. This is a 50-50 fight. Teo has the better resume going into the fight. And you guys know what's funny? Before the Devin Haney and Brian Norman fight, I kept bringing up the fact that Brian Norman Jr.'s resume was trash, right? And you know what everybody kept telling me? They kept saying resumes don't win fights. And that's true, right? Resumes don't win fights, but resumes help win fights because it shows your experience. If you can't beat somebody at that top level, then you're not proven in the sport. Just because Brian Norman Jr. knocked out, 3 hot Cheeto bag fighters, you know what I'm saying? He beat Jin Sasaki and he beat Giovanni Santil. He knocked out like 3 dudes in a row that nobody even knows, right? Like if you're not a hardcore boxing fan, you don't even know who these guys are, right? Just because he knocked those guys out doesn't mean that he's gonna knock out a former undisputed champion, a multi-division champion like Devin the Dream Debo Haney. And going into this fight, we have to admit, bro, Teofimo Lopez's resume is much better than Shakur's. We got to keep it 100, bro. You know what I'm saying? He beat Vasily Lomachenko by unanimous decision back in 2020. He does have the one loss to George Kambosos. He lost by a split decision. I think that fight could have went either way. But the fact that Teo never got a rematch for that fight, that always left a bad taste in my mouth. Pause. He had a close fight against Sandor Martin. Many people think he lost that, right? He beat Josh Taylor by unanimous decision. That's probably his second best win on his resume. He beat Jermaine Ortiz. Some people think he, lost that fight. Beat Steve Claggett, but took a lot of damage in the Steve Claggett fight. And then he dominated Arnold Barboza Jr. And I wasn't expecting that. Remember, Teo, Shakur, and Devin, they were all on the same fight card earlier this year. And Teo had the best performance by far. Teo, he dominated Arnold Barboza Jr., put on the masterclass performance. And I think that his performance was underrated. You don't even see nobody talking about that fight because Teo just made it look so easy, right? So listen, man. I think this is a way for Teofimo Lopez to shut all of his haters up, right? We've seen Teo do the racist antics and, we've seen Teo clout chasing and shit like that. If Teofimo Lopez can beat Shakur Stevenson, bro, I don't think we should ever bring up that George Kambosos fight ever again. Because after George Kambosos beat Teo, he hasn't won any fights since. Like, he's lost almost every fight after that. You know what I'm saying? But I got to get an edge to Shakur Stevenson, man. I think because Shakur Stevenson has the best defense in boxing because he's so skilled. And it's not just that, bro. Shakur Stevenson has a very high boxing IQ. Like, he's mentally tough. And when you look at Teo, bro, right, he has shown some mental weaknesses, bro. Like, Teo is, he has the style of a slick black boxer, but mentally, you just don't know what version of Teo you're going to get. And I don't think you can have those problems going into a fight with a Shakur Stevenson because Shakur, he's going to outsmart you, bro. I can see this fight going where Shakur Stevenson is just simply outlanding Teo, blocking a majority of Teo's punches and just, putting on the masterclass performance and just outboxing him. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I think the fight's going to go. But listen, it's a 50-50 fight. Anything could happen. And I'm not underestimating Teofimo Lopez at all. Remember, this is Shakur's first fight at 140. So, that could play a difference as well. Teo's been at 140 for a couple years now. We could see a scenario where Teofimo Lopez drops Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? I don't see Shakur get knocked out. But, hey, anything's possible, man. So, let me know what you guys think about this fight. It's your boy Wavy, Stay Wavy TV. Make sure y'all subscribe, thumbs up the video, share the video, leave a comment, and let me know y'all predictions on this fight, man. I'm out.
Yeah, lights on the pavement, gleam, waving the lens so clean. City in the back while I chase big dreams, frequency high, that's a stay wavy thing. Ride with the vibe, let it roll like the tide, new scene every time that the beat collides, happening.